Today I'm talking about video games. Are video games art? The quick answer is yes, of course. Most people agree to that at this point in history. Um, Quite a while ago, a famous film critic said video games are not art, but that was a long time ago, and most of us have moved on besides random arguments on social media. So I don't think I need to prove that video games are art. But I would like to talk about how people prove that video games are art. Um, One way they do this is to point to examples of effective storytelling in video games that move people emotionally. A good example is The Last of Us. Has a very impactful last act where there are tough choices. It funnels you into experiencing um, these tough choices with the characters, even though you don't have the power over those choices. And that's part of like what gives the ending its power um, or its emotional effectiveness. Other examples are indie games that also move the player emotionally and explore like the darker aspects of humanity. I think those are fair examples of video games being art, but I'd like to, not a counterexample, but a different type of example on why video games are art. Um, and it's not the game that most comes to mind when people think of art, but here it is, Astro Bot. Obviously, it's a beloved game that got Game of the Year from multiple outlets, on tons of top 10 lists. It was my favorite game last year. But how is Astro Bot art? Isn't it just purely an enjoyable video game that doesn't have deeper aspirations? And I'd like to challenge that fundamentally, in the sense that art does not have to be sad. It does not have to be traumatic. It doesn't have to explore um, grief. Um, Art can explore other parts of the human condition, such as joy, play, exploration. And that is very much the focus of Astro Bot. It's exploring what makes people happy, what encourages a person to play around in the environment without a reward, just to see what happens, just to play in the play box. And I think that like few other mediums can explore joy and play in the same way that a video game can. And that in itself makes video games a worthy addition to art forms. Um, I think that like more art needs to explore joy and happiness. Um, and so I'm super thankful that this work of art is something that I can experience. That's all I wanted to say today. Talk to you later.